$150. That is what you have left after your first month of working. Not savings, not investments, just $150 sitting in a checking account that you opened 3 weeks ago because the job required direct deposit. You are 18. You are tired. The shift ended at 10. You smell like whatever you spent 8 hours doing. And somewhere on the internet, someone is telling you that this is the most important financial moment of your entire life. You don't believe them. You should. Because 12 years from now, 2 versions of you will exist. Same city, same kind of job, same starting point. And the distance between them, measured in dollars, in options, in the kind of freedom that lets you say no to things that don't serve you, will be over $300,000. All of it decided by one question you are about to answer tonight. Here's what nobody tells you about starting early. It doesn't require a lot of money. It requires a decision, just one, made before the weekend, before you can talk yourself out of it. Path A. You are 18. You invest $100 that night. Not because you understand compound interest, not because you read a finance book, because someone told you the cost of waiting is higher than the cost of not knowing what you're doing. You believe them just enough to move. You open a Roth IRA. The balance is $100. It feels like nothing. You do it anyway. You set a recurring deposit, $100 per month, automated, the day after payday. You never see it leave. That's the point. You're not sacrificing a lifestyle. You don't have one yet. You're 18. Your rent is shared. Your expenses are light. The window you are standing in right now, low obligations, low overhead, this window does not stay open. By the end of year 1, you have $1,200 in the account. The market goes up 11%. You have $1,320. You don't celebrate. You don't tell anyone. You just leave it there. The way you leave a seed in soil you don't fully understand yet. You trust the process before you understand it. That is the move. By 22, you have contributed $4,800. The account holds $6,100 due to 4 years of compounding. The number looks small. It is not small. It is a machine that has just turned on and will not turn off for the next 42 years. Path B. You are also 18. You also have $150 left over. But the timing feels wrong. You tell yourself you'll start when you understand it better, when you have more, when things settle down. This is the most expensive sentence in the English language. I'll start when. At 20, you take out a car loan. Payment is $290 a month. At 21, you upgrade your phone plan. At 22, you move into your own place. Rent is $900. The expenses arrive one at a time, and each one examined alone seems completely reasonable. Fine even. You are not irresponsible. You work, you pay your bills, you show up. You just haven't started yet. The account balance at 22 is $0. There is nothing wrong with you. There is something wrong with the plan, or more specifically, the absence of one. Here's what nobody tells you about waiting. It doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like a pause. But in compound interest math, a pause is a decision, and it is the most expensive one you will ever make without knowing you made it. At 22, you make a mental note. Next month. Next month arrives, you spend it on a concert you'll remember for 2 weeks and forget for the rest of your life. The next month, the next year, you are 25 before the word Roth IRA means anything real to you. And by then, 7 years of compounding have already happened to someone else. Path A. You are 24. You got a raise. $3,800 more per year. You don't touch the lifestyle. You raise the investment to $200 a month. A coworker named James asks how you manage to save so much on your salary. You tell him, automated transfer before I see the money. He nods like he'll do it. He doesn't do it. You don't judge him. You already know what it costs to wait because you almost waited too. At 26, the account has $22,400. You didn't add a single heroic decision. You didn't time the market, you didn't pick winning stocks. You bought a total market index fund with a 0.03% expense ratio, and you let time do arithmetic you couldn't have done manually. The market dips at 27. Hard. Your balance drops from $31,000 to $24,600 in 6 weeks. You feel it. You watch it. You do not sell. Not from discipline exactly, from understanding. You know what you own. You know what you're waiting for. Panic is for people who don't know why they're in the game. By 30, you have contributed $14,400 of your own money over 12 years. Your balance is $63,000. You didn't earn $63,000. You earned $14,400. The other $48,600 is what time made while you were at work, at dinner, asleep. That is the machine. That is what nobody shows you when they explain investing. Not the contribution, the multiplication. Path B. You are 30. Something shifted. A colleague mentions her portfolio at lunch. A podcast episode catches you mid-commute. A birthday passes, and the number 30 sits in your chest differently than 29 did. Something about it feels like a line drawn in the ground. You open a brokerage account. You fund it with $300 a month. You are serious this time. You mean it. You find a total market index fund. You automate. You do everything right. And here is the thing nobody tells you about starting at 30. Everything you do is correct. The fund selection is correct. The automation is correct. The discipline is real. The intention is genuine. You are just starting a race that someone else began 12 years ago while you were sleeping. You tell yourself you'll make up for lost time by investing more. And you do. You raise it to $400 a month, then $500. You are aggressive. You are focused. You have something at 30 that you didn't at 18. You have context. You understand now what the delay cost. That understanding is sharp and specific, and it motivates you every single month. By 35, you have contributed $30,000. Your balance is $44,700. It is real money. It is progress. The machine is running. But Path A's machine has been running for 17 years. You are both 40. Same city, same general salary bracket, same decade of adult life behind you. But you are not in the same financial position. Not even close. Path A at 40. 22 years of $100 to $200 per month. Total contributed $31,200. Account balance $196,000. Path B at 40. 10 years of $300 to $500 per month. Total contributed $48,000. Account balance $98,000. Read those numbers again. Path B contributed $16,800 more in actual dollars and still has $98,000 less. This is not a math trick. This is the math. This is how compound interest actually works when you let it run versus when you make it sprint to catch up. It cannot sprint. It does not work that way. It is a function of time, not effort. The gap is $98,000. At the historical average return of 10% annually, that $98,000 gap becomes $254,000 by age 50. Untouched, just growing. And here is the number that guts you when you finally understand it. Path A will reach $1 million at age 60, contributing $200 a month. Path B will need to contribute $740 a month from age 30 onward, every single month without stopping, just to arrive at the same number at the same age. Not because they did anything wrong, because the clock ran, and compound interest is indifferent to effort. It rewards only time. Here's what nobody tells you about the investor who starts at 18. They are not smarter. They are not more disciplined. They did not sacrifice a beautiful life for a spreadsheet. Most of them didn't even fully understand what they were doing when they started. They just started before the cost of starting felt comfortable. And that discomfort, that specific feeling of doing something that feels slightly too small to matter, that is the feeling that separates every financial outcome you will ever see. The $100 did not change their life. The decision to move it before they felt ready did. Because what starting at 18 actually teaches you, the thing that cannot be replicated at 30 no matter how aggressively you invest, is this. You learn that money works while you don't. You internalize it young enough for it to become instinct rather than discipline. Discipline is fragile. It breaks under pressure, under grief, under a bad month, under a life that doesn't go according to plan. Instinct doesn't. Instinct is what you build when you automate something early enough that it becomes invisible, a habit so old it doesn't feel like a choice anymore. It just feels like how things work. The person who starts at 30 is not lost. Let me be very clear about that. The machine still works. The compound interest still runs. 30 years of investing is still 30 years. It is still worth starting. It will always be worth starting. But if you are 18 right now, or 19, or 22, and you're reading this from a phone on a Tuesday night after a shift that tired you out more than it paid you, you are standing in the most valuable financial window of your entire life. And the window is open right now, not next month, not when you understand it better, now. Here's your one next step, not 5, 1. Tonight, not tomorrow, not after you do more research, tonight, open a Roth IRA. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, all free to open. Takes 11 minutes. Deposit $50 or $100 or $23. The number is not the point. The decision is. Find a total market index fund. Set a recurring deposit for whatever amount you will genuinely not miss. Automate it to hit the day after payday so it is gone before your brain can negotiate with it. Then close the app and understand that the most powerful financial move you will ever make just happened in silence on a phone screen on an ordinary night. No ceremony, no applause, just a machine that turned on and will not stop running until you tell it to. The person at 40 with $196,000 started exactly this way, on a night that felt like nothing, with money that felt like not enough. It was enough. It always was. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The next video is the one that shows you exactly what happens to both paths at retirement. The number is not what you think it is. See you in the next.